Today it's all about consequences. Once more, consequences, 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 other people's consequences. So, the saga. My mother had a house which she bought with my sister. My sister is currently ill. She has been ill for a while. And I have been going backwards and forwards every day. I stay over, I sort her out in the morning, I come back here, I do my work, I go back, I take work with me, I do that, and I fit sleep in somewhere between. But every single day, I don't have much. Well, I went, I would say, 10 years or more without having contact with my mother. But that's nothing to do with me, that's to do with her. But that's a long story for another day. So, anyways, so due to my sister not being well and due to my mother sabotaging herself, and she lives far away from us, and on principle, I believe if you choose, I've already explained this, if you choose the action, then the consequences are all yours. And I've already told her that I'm not coming to her house. I personally didn't tell her to move where she's ended up moving to. And it's far. And you have to live with the consequences because you chose to move because you were trying to sabotage us, us being her children. But I said that's another story for another day. But anyway, so she's been ringing me every day. I'm here, I'm trying to do my work. Sometimes I leave later, sometimes I leave earlier, every day. And her only concern is, um, where where are you? Haven't you left yet? And that's all I'm getting. Like, it rained really heavily last Monday, and I got drenched on the way. I had to stop to pick up a prescription, and I was literally wringing wet. And ever so often, whenever a mother calls, I would chuck something into the equation to see if she's actually taking any thought for my situation. So I said to her, for example, I said to her, I got drenched. And it just went in one and out the other, because her only concern is, when are you going back? Because my sister is the one who visits her. So I would say, whether it be conscious or unconsciously, her primary thought is that she wants my sister to get better so that my sister can pick up where she left off. My sister is a long way from being able to travel. So my mother, as a consequence of her actions going back 23 years ago, I don't even think, because this is typical of people who do not consider consequences. When the consequences land, very rarely do they go back and look at how they ended up where they are. But I have a fantastic memory. I remember everything, and if I need to, I can remind everybody of everything that transpired and how they got from point A to point B to point C to point Z. I can remind them of that. But I am very patient, and sometimes I like to leave people to work things out independently. So many of the consequences, I would say the majority of the consequences that I end up enduring are other people's consequences. In that, I've said this already, I live my life in such a way where I consider my consequences. But in doing that, whereas other people, all they can do is send their thoughts and their well wishes and their love, but they're not going to do anything practical to help remedy any situations. And then they pat themselves on the back because they've sent their thoughts and their prayers and their love. I'm the one here doing the legwork. I'm the one doing everything. But thus far, I think, because I'm at the point now where I'm not going to say anything nice to my mother if she gets in contact with me. And I'm hoping she senses this. But yes, this is slightly personal, but it relates. I'm sure other people are in a situation that they can relate to. And yes, I know everybody says, oh, you've only got one mother, blah, 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 this, that, the other. But we are all individuals. We're all human beings here to, contribute, to gain whatever it is that we are here to gain or to contribute to this life. And the fact that she is my mother, it doesn't rule out the fact that she needs to take responsibility for her past actions, and to stop putting pressure on other people to absorb the consequences. I don't really have much more than that to say on this subject, but this is, I mean, if I was to write my life story, it would read like fiction. If I was to rehearse some of the things that have gone down within my family against me, you would understand if I would choose to not have anything to do with people that I call family. But that's another story. But I mean, there's loads that I could say, but I'm going to sort of just leave it here. And just to say, at the end of the day, there are lessons that we can learn from people. We can see how they do family and how other people do family. Some people get it right because they bear no malice in their hearts towards others, and they just want others to succeed. Therefore, they're not going to, in my case, I got kicked out when I was 17 for doing nothing, basically. It was just like a power struggle. And there are other people who wouldn't dream of kicking their children out. But these are the realities. I'm sure there are people there who would be horrified. How can you say these things about your family? How can you say that about your mother? Be horrified on your own time, right? But this is the reality. And as far as I'm concerned, people should take their own consequences. The world is stuffed up because society takes responsibility for the consequences of people who have never been made to understand what consequences are, because they've never been made to feel them. They can choose bad actions and get rewarded for them. This is the way society tends to deal with people who should really not even have a stake in it. But I don't know. I don't have anything more to say. I'm out of here.